Hey everyone, welcome back. Got another battle report here. This time it's kind of a Thunderdome free-for-all. We got some Canadians versus Soviets versus Germans. We each brought 1,000 points for a custom mission of Konflikt 47. The mission, we had 5 points. There's a center objective, which could be picked up and carried by the unit, and then a point for each unit killed. And we broke up the forces, half coming in first wave, other in reserves. No outflanking. We did play on the slightly smaller board and using the new experimental Walker rules, so that all worked out. The Canadian forces, the Soviets. So I have a little bit of a dice advantage coming in here. So Commissar, Lieutenant Ivanov, just a random character I made. Special Forces guy, although for the rules he's just a veteran LT. Heavy infantry, a truck. Just got started painting it. It's finished now, but for the battle royals, only had a little bit of paint on it. The terrors, SMG troops, medium machine gun, special forces, anti-tank hunter team with 2 Panzerfausts, an experienced squad, and then another SMG squad. The German forces, 10 dice as well, so out of all this I ended up only having a 1 dice advantage to both of them onto the board. So we ended up playing, it was about a 5 by 4 foot board, thereabouts. This was the center objective worth 5 victory points. Each of the stars were our deployment areas, so the way we played it is you could, I believe it was 12 inches, you had a 12-inch half circle where you can come in off, or I'm sorry, 12 inches either left or right that you can come in off the board edge. But this was measured off of this point. So I was here, Russians, Germans, Canadians. Just another side of the board. Brings us top 1. So early on, we didn't get the Germans, is mainly Germans and Russians going back and forth. Yeah, so this is the LMG team, the double LMGs. So yeah, between the Canadians just failing their, no, there was no order check. So yeah, they just they weren't getting any draws. Honestly, you had the one, automated infantry, but primarily it was just it was just Germans and Russians coming in. So originally my plan was to send some forces up to the left, some forces to the right to kind of engage, shoot like my terrors or something up here, grab it and run back. Yeah, this ended up being a kill zone with the two LMG teams, so that kind of changed my plan. Yeah, just another view of it. So yeah, just how big the kill zone is. About now you see some more Canadians finally showing up. A little action shot. I think the automated infantry cracked some shots. The Commissar providing motivation. Yeah, just the left flank. So yeah, this is a very large kill zone. So that kind of changed my, maybe send a squad or two this way to, well, I'm just going to redeploy and pull them over to the right. Then at the Canadian perspective, so yeah, you see him, grenadiers. This is the irregular infantry, automated infantry, more automated infantry than the free artillery observer. Brings us on to 2. So first thing, right out the bat, or relatively close, artillery observer picks her spot right here. So we're pushing up, again, avoiding the LMG team. So we're shifting to the right. Zombies pushing up. So I feel pretty good being able to tackle them if I'm not engaged or anything by the time I get there. So then I bring these guys. So my inexperienced squad with the automated infantry coming up, and then I still know the whole Canadian force is on the right. I choose to provide myself cover with the for the free squad, so they're playing as Operation Meat Shield. The coming from the German side, so he's starting to move forces in. That's the light howitzer. The anti-tank, or the Panzerschreck team, they're sneaking over to the right here. So then here I am, yep, the special forces. So my plan was to bring them over with the first activation, then second activation, kind of run them up into here. Of course, I believe I fail. Yep, mission accomplished. So they're saving my valuable SMG troops from the fire of the Grenadiers, regular squad, and automated infantry. So mission accomplished in that. Yep, so here's another view. You can kind of give myself some cover running up this way. Just an action shot of a lieutenant bravely commanding his troops from the back. Yeah, yeah. The price of failure. Yeah, so he saw they were caught out in the open. So Grenadiers jump out, and I was lucky to have any of them left. We pass our check, but seeing this, I take the opportunity to move some of my reinforcements over. Know that most of his stuff's already been activated, so I knew my these my hitters gonna come out and do their thing. So they just open up with them on SMGs. Yeah, and just mow that squad down. So they yeah, so a little payback. Not as I'd rather have my special forces squad around still, but hey, you take what you can get, right? This a shot from the non-Canadian side. So yeah, we still got our artillery marker here. In the board state in the right half, Canadians are still, commandos came in, filling the gap. The Grenadiers still have his tank in the light Walker in reserves. Board state left half. Then another just a shot of the calm before the storm as Russian SMG troops pile in with zombies and assault weapon armed Germans, which brings us to top of 3. Markers here hanging out, and then boom. So yeah, the yeah, artillery our only weakness. So the inexperienced squad picks up the only hit, or no, not the only hit, but one of the hits, and yeah, they're just obliterated. They get pins piled on. I believe the Russian or the Germans, I think, lost their flame team here, and then yeah, everybody else just gets a ton of pins. So yeah, that was fun. The Grenadiers go to activate, fail, they go down. So I use that opportunity to get my next pull, jump them with the in hand to hand with my heavy infantry, and then move into cover with my consolidation move. Yeah, they come out and just pop some shots, I think, into the zombies, which doesn't do anything. Seeing the action over here is done, and knowing the objective's going to be contested, start pulling the truck up here. I think I may end up using him to dart up and try to either block or have the squad hop in and peel away, or at least a little bit closer to my side. At this point, I'm hoping the heavy infantry can just. I know they're not going to be able to take all these guys out, but I'm hoping they stick around and at least draw enough fire, being in cover and being as tough as they are, that he won't be able to just run out and engage the objective. So at least has to think before doing anything with them here. Panzerschreck team comes up, tries to take smoke one of these guys, but they fail. Oh, and then the MMG team. Thank goodness I didn't just do the new suppressive fire rule. We just decided to open up with regular shots and just we all hits, and even with the gun shield, we didn't do anything. Or he didn't have any luck against the with the light howitzer. I just all 6s and just murdered that whole crew. Then run these guys in here to get first dibs at the objective. I don't know how long they're going to have it, but at least we claimed it as first. So over here, yeah, they start taking start taking hits. I don't know how long they're going to last versus a ton of Canadians and automated infantry, but at least if these guys are taking the hits, my guys on the objectives aren't. So, yeah, just the calm of this before. So they move them up, try to take some shots, and it doesn't really do much. But yeah, now it's getting a little unpleasant. They're getting a little close now, so I think next turn they're going to be able to get in and clean my stuff up. So I got to get this objective, hopefully get an early pull, and run back to my board side. And then when it rains, it pours, so the Schreckwolfen show up, and I don't think I'm going to outrun them. So finally, the Coyote comes in. Yeah, I think that's the one with the flamethrower. It just burns them up. Then here, yep, heavy infantry just doing their job, holding it up. The Cromwell, yeah, the Tesla tank shows up, so all the armor's showing up now, and it's staring down the objectives. So even more reason for them to hold tight. Just a calm before the storm. Yeah, the seeing this coming here, my anti-tank team, they were hiding down here, sneaks over. These are supposed to be on the heavy infantry, the two pins. So yeah, I'm hoping if he keeps moving or focus stays on them, that they're able to kind of shoot out and hit it. The third wave of Russian SMG troops approaching. And this time I see all the forces building, got the armor here. So I decide to send the Siberian Terrors over this way instead of up to the front. There's enough there. I lost my meat shield, so yeah, they would just be darting across the open, and I don't think they would last. So my thinking is, okay, I'll come this way, maybe keep pressure on here, or maybe kill a unit or two, and scoop up some victory points that way. But then I forget that the commandos haven't operated or activated yet, so they jump out and just obliterate them. Yeah, so today's lesson, look at what units have been activated. Luckily they still passed, but yeah, so now the Canadians are on the offensive, and they seem pretty ticked off. So the LT just comes up and adds more shots to them. The Fallschirmjäger, or the Jet Falcon Fallschirmjägers, they show up. They had two Panzerfausts, but swing and a miss. So yeah, they're in a bad way. Believe, yeah, okay. I think we engaged in a firefight, or we attempted to shoot here or something. I forget what happened to them exactly, but they got lit up. Brings us to 4. So he gets Germans get an early pull. Decide to jump over this way and pick them up. So yeah, they're at this point, I think he's using them to just snag up a bunch of these smaller units, get those victory points. Brings us to the Canadians. So he gets a pull before I do, and sends them in. Yeah, my poor Soviets. So we do pretty good, but not enough. So yeah, they end up killing us to a man, and I think we do some damage to them, but not a. Yeah, I'd rather have my guys around. Although this did work out. He advanced his tank, and I was able to jump out and fire off. We hit, but only stunned it, so that was kind of a bummer. And then just even more unpleasantness. Yeah. Oh yeah. You notice so as a rebuttal to losing the automated infantry, so he jumps or stomps the light walker up here and just burns off the puppies. So that was entertaining, because that pulls a little bit of pressure off of me at least. Not enough to stop the zombies, so they come in, and we're just killing and shooting, and unfortunately we get chomped, and then he jumps back on the objective here. Not sure what happened with that. So I'm sending in the third wave. So this is LT, uh, my weakened squad of SMG troops. So this is the yep. So now since they had their shot, the terrorists still have a Panzerfaust too. So they run up, trying to take a shot. So but we swing and miss, bringing us to 5. So about this time um, we're running quick on time. So we start trying to burn some through some the turn a little bit quicker. So so he has Panzerfaust and his assault squad comes back, pops the light walker. So that was some good news because I imagine that thing would have just kept stomping through here. He decides to send the zombies in, or no, I believe he moves up and shoots, puts a pin or two with the LT squad, doesn't kill anybody. But then I get my next go and I send in the SMG troops. I know it was a do or die, so I just send them in, um, get some good rolls, and I was able to pull them off the objective. Unfortunately, you see here he was able to jump. He got activation, jumped the Falcon troops up. I moved the truck up at this point to either A, block line of sight, or get them to, hopefully something where I can get in and either drive off with the objective or, just giving me some options at this point. I know it's a weak truck with it's worth 1 victory point, but, with this objective being worth 5, I thought it was worth a trade-off if this gets popped. Then a view from the Fallschirmjäger squad, so, yeah, we're getting pretty thin on the objective here. Canadians, apparently these are the assaulty types, so they charge into the Siberian Terrors, pick them up. So yeah, I'm running. My right flank is pretty much collapsed. I was able to come in here with the special forces, getting some revenge by gunning down the last commando or two. But yeah, at this point, there's nothing we could do against that guy. And oh yeah, all his troops. So yeah, this is the last known footage of the truck before it gets obliterated by the Tesla cannon. So he fires and hits and pops him. The LTs, they're doing some slap fighting at this point. I think we both ended up shooting at each other or something and not killing. Neither one of us were able to do any damage. Here we were running out of time, and Commissar being, he's got people, he's got special forces buddies here. He's got to show out for, so he runs over or jogs over, tries to kill the LT, and swings and miss. And at that, we ended up calling it at the bottom of turn 5. So on that note, it ended up being a Soviet win due to time. I'll take it because if it went to turn 6, it wasn't going to happen. So we ended with 9 Soviet victory points, 7 for Canadians, and 3 for the Germans. Although you look at it, and the Germans were either German or Canadians were going to walk away with it. I wasn't going to be able to hold it because you come over here and I got 1, 2, 3 weakened units, and then you look over here depending on pools, so they're likely going to be able to come in and pick this objective off. I already got 4 pins. Yeah, LT's here to help, but I don't think that's going to help that much. So yeah, as they jump in, assault, and kick my teeth in, and pick that up. So either way, I think turn 6 or any later, clearly it was going to be either Germans or Canadians. All in all, we lost 14 units. Canadians lost 4, Germans 5, Russians 5 as well. And it was a good playing on the shortened board. It was about 5 feet. It worked out well that we were all equal distance from the objective. Nobody was able to set up a fire base with the first wave. Well, at least out the gate. The Germans were able to eventually, just because they had so many. They were able to get all their stuff out there first. So on turn 2, they were all ready. But yeah, it was a good mission because it balanced the going for the main objective, but also just killing each other. So that worked out. I think in the future we did talk with running out of time. We'll probably go down to like 800 points. We'll test that out, or 750 or something to that effect if we're doing these 3-player games to kind of make sure we get through the entirety of the game. because it would have been nice. We had to go home. Kids needed dinner and such, so we had to get home and get them fed. But it would have been real nice to see it play out, even though I know, I wasn't going to win it at that point. But the Germans would have jumped up at least another 6 or 7 points. And if seeing if the Canadians, even with losing the objective, if they would have been able to just kill enough of my stuff with those low-hanging units around, if they would have been able to just kill their way to victory, which is always an option. Again, thanks for watching, and hope you had a good time.